Welcome back, meteorologists. I missed you all last week. I wasn't able to post any videos, but I have been tracking my weather. And when I looked at the clouds, I've seen a lot of different clouds, especially some of these tall ones and some storm clouds. Unfortunately, the storm clouds did not bring us much rain. I brought in my rain gauge, and I don't know if you guys had the same thing happen to yours, but I lost my water that I started with. So I started here, and my water level dropped down about a whole inch. And I also noticed something happening inside my rain gauge. I noticed that it started to condensate in there. So it started to evaporate from the heat. And that's probably where all of our water went. So, because we haven't gotten much rain, I have not added anything to my rain gauge bar on this chart. And I took apart my barometer, so I have not been checking that. But this week we're going to make a new tool. We are going to make a weather vane. And a weather vane is going to help tell us the direction that the wind is blowing. So let's go back to our book. And this is the page all about wind. And it says, wind happens when warm air moves up and cooler air moves in to replace it. Warm and cool temperatures affect the wind speed and direction. Wind direction is where the wind comes from. There are also different ways to describe the wind. So there's gusty, breezy, windy. When the wind blows with more and more force, a windstorm develops. There are many kinds of windstorms. Often they can cause damage. A gale is a strong windstorm. A hurricane is a spiral-shaped windstorm that comes from the tropics. And a tornado is a funnel-shaped windstorm that twists as hot air spins upward. We're going to learn a little bit more about hurricanes and tornadoes in the next couple units. So for now, we're just going to focus on the wind direction. In order to do that, we are going to build ourselves a weather vane. So if you pull out your packet, it should say week 6. And the materials that you're going to need are a pencil with an eraser on it, a paper clip like this, 2 index cards, a pair of scissors, a straw, and a marker. So, looking at step 1, it tells us that we're going to poke a hole in the center of one of our index cards, big enough for our pencil to go through. So I'm actually going to take my index card and just take my pencil, and I'm just going to try to push it, find the middle. It doesn't have to be exact, and I'm just going to twist it easily and put some pressure until I get just the tip through, and then I'll just work the rest of the pencil through. And now I have an index card on my pencil. I'm going to take my pencil out, and on this card I'm going to write the direction, so north, east, south, and west. And it doesn't matter which part of your card you start on, as long as you write the directions in the right order. So we're going to start with north, and then it goes east, and then south should be directly across from north. And then west should be on the last side, and that should be directly across from east. And how I always remembered this was never eat soggy waffles. So this is what my card looks like. I did north, east, south, and west. Now I'm going to poke my pencil back through, and I want my eraser sticking up from the top. So step 2 is going to be take your other index card and cut a triangle and a rectangle out of it. So for my rectangle, I'm actually just going to cut off the end of my card because my card is already shaped like a rectangle. So there, now I have a very simple rectangle, and then I'm going to also cut a triangle out. So I'm just going to start at one corner, and I'm going to make a slanted cut, and then I'll start at the other corner and I'll make another slanted cut. And now I have my triangle. Step 3, it says to cut a slit in each end of your straw and slide your rectangle on one side and your triangle on the other. So I'm going to make a slit this way. And then when I turn my straw over to the other end, I want to make my slit go the other way. So more like this. And then all I'm going to do is take my index card. I'm going to slide it into that slit so that it looks like so. And then the same with my triangle. I'm going to slide it in that top slit. Oops, I did my slits the same direction. I want it to look. I'm going to cut the end off and do another one. I want it to go this way so that it looks just like this. And then step 4, it says to bend your paper clip so that it's open, so you have a straight spot. So I'm just going to take my paper clip and I'm just going to open it up just like that. All right, and then the last step to our weather vane is, or actually I think we have 2 more. You're going to, after you open up your paper clip, we're going to poke it through the center of our straw. And we want our arrow to be pointing so that it's not the flat way. We want it the tall way. And you're going to take it and you're going to do it the same way you did as your pencil. And you're just going to put some pressure and you're going to twist until you can poke it right through your straw. And once it's on there, you can test and see if it spins by holding it. So that will hopefully spin in the wind. Then you're going to take your paper clip and you're going to push that straight piece into the end of your pencil. And it might be a little hard. You have to put some pressure and really push. But once it's in there, there you go. Now, give it a little blow. We have a weather vane. And you'll take this outside, and this is the important part. To know which way the wind is actually blowing, you have to make sure that your card is facing the right direction. So you might need a compass, or you can ask Mom and Dad which way north is. So when you go outside, you're going to point your card so that north is pointing north, and you're just going to hold it right up and let the wind blow it and see which direction your wind is blowing. So you can test this. The wind is going to change directions throughout the day. It can even change directions within the minute. If it's really windy out, it may blow one way and then it may switch the other and blow back that way again. So there is a spot for you to track your wind direction on our chart here. If you printed this, it says NESW. So those stand for north, east, south, and west. And you can just put a little sticker or color in your square, or if you didn't print out your chart, remember, you can always just write it down if you'd like to keep track of it. So far, together, we have built a barometer, which we did take apart unless you put it back together. We've built a rain gauge. We've built a weather vane so we can test wind direction. And we've also got a chart going of clouds, and then your regular weather chart. If it's been raining or sunny, or if it's been hot or cold. We're in quite a hot spell right now. Very little rain and a lot of heat. So I hope you guys are all getting out and staying cool. Until next time, bye-bye.